Welcome to our PoM podcast for mindfulness and tolerance. In today's new release of Season 1, episode number 12, our moderators Robert and Joana dive into the topic PoM and Maverick's Cove go round the world with innovative global podcast network. They follow the question, how does podcasting go together with a slow fashion brand, mindfulness and online community for free spirits and creative rebels? Stay tuned.
All right, so we're diving into Digipax Mentis.
Okay.
This Dutch company that's really making waves with their sustainable fashion brand, PoM.
Interesting.
It's short for Peace of Mind, Happy Life.
Right.
But it's not just clothes.
Right.
They're bringing podcasts into the picture,
Okay.
creating this whole ecosystem around mindful living, it seems like.
Yeah, it's fascinating how they're using podcasts, not just for marketing,
Yeah.
but really for like genuine discussion and education on all these different topics.
Yeah.
Their Maverick's Cove platform is a good example of that.
Yeah. What is Maverick's Cove exactly?
It's kind of like a think to do tank
Okay.
where they're tackling some pretty big issues.
Yeah. Maverick's Cove seems to be at the heart of everything they do.
Definitely.
They're blending sustainability, mindfulness, social responsibility,
Yeah.
all while drawing inspiration from...
Get this,
Yeah.
a 19th century Texan cattle rancher
What?
who refused to brand his cattle.
Really?
Yeah, so that's where the name comes from.
It's an interesting mix for sure.
It's clever branding, for sure.
Yeah.
It highlights their commitment to independent thinking,
Right.
challenging the status quo.
Mm-hmm.
But what's really impressive is their commitment to a 100% circular economy
Wow.
by next year
That's ambitious.
for any fashion company,
Yeah.
let alone one that's also building this global podcast network.
Okay, so let's talk about these podcasts.
Yeah,
They have a bunch of different ones,
they do.
covering everything from Auslan sign language
Interesting.
to mental health at work.
It's a wide range.
They even launched the network on International Podcast Day
Oh, wow.
back in September.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like they're really trying to make this content accessible to everyone.
Accessibility is definitely a priority for them.
Yeah.
They provide transcripts for all the podcasts,
Oh, that's great.
which is a huge step towards inclusivity.
Yeah.
It's not just for people with hearing impairments.
Right.
It also enhances the learning experience for everyone.
I could see that.
You can read along with the audio, highlight key points,
Yeah.
share snippets easily.
That makes sense.
It's a smart move.
And they're not shying away from some heavy topics either.
No, they're not.
I'm seeing podcasts on the global mental health crisis,
Right.
the impact of fast fashion,
Yeah.
even critiques of Black Friday consumerism.
It's refreshing to see.
Yeah, it really is.
A company willing to engage with these issues head on.
Definitely goes against the grain of traditional marketing,
It does.
where companies usually avoid anything controversial.
Yeah, for PoM, it seems to be part of their core philosophy. They
Mhm.
want their listeners to be critical thinkers,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
challenge assumptions
Right.
and make informed choices.
It's like they're saying, hey, we're not perfect,
Exactly.
but we're trying.
Yeah.
And we want you to come along with us.
And they're using these podcasts to create a space for dialogue and debate.
Yeah.
It's not just preaching from a soapbox.
Mhm.
They're inviting listeners to participate in the conversation.
Okay, so we've established they're using podcasts to promote mindfulness,
Yeah.
sustainability,
Right.
social responsibility.
Mhm.
But how does all of this tie back to their clothing brand
That's the question, isn't it?
and their community?
Yeah.
What's the connection between buying a PoM t-shirt
Okay.
and listening to their podcast on the negative impacts of Black Friday?
That's where it gets really interesting.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
You buy a sustainably made PoM garment.
Okay,
You're immediately connected to this whole ecosystem they've created.
I see.
The podcast becomes a way to deepen your understanding of the values behind the brand,
Okay.
to learn more about the issues they care about,
Mhm.
and connect with other like-minded individuals.
So it's more than just buying a shirt.
Exactly.
It's about joining a movement.
Precisely.
And they're not just relying on that feel-good factor.
No, they're providing practical information,
Okay.
resources,
Yeah.
even mindfulness techniques that listeners can use in their daily lives.
All right, let's take a closer look at these podcasts themselves.
Okay.
You mentioned they have quite a few different series.
We can definitely delve into some of the specific content.
Yeah, let's do that.
One of their flagship podcasts focuses on mindfulness practices,
Okay.
exploring everything from meditation techniques to stress management strategies.
So it's very practical.
Very practical.
Yeah.
They even have episodes dedicated to specific challenges,
Like what?
like dealing with anxiety at work
Oh, that's useful.
or cultivating gratitude in daily life.
So it's not just theoretical.
Not at all.
They're actually teaching listeners how to apply these practices
Exactly.
in their own lives.
They provide guided meditations,
Oh, wow.
breathing exercises,
Right.
practical tips that listeners can implement immediately.
That's great.
It's about empowering people to take control of their mental well-being.
And they're tackling global mental health issues as well, right?
They
I
are.
remember seeing something about a podcast dedicated to that.
Yes. They have a dedicated podcast that explores the complexities of the global mental health crisis.
That's a big one.
It is a big one.
Yeah.
They interview experts, discuss the latest research,
Okay.
shed light on the social and cultural factors that
Wow.
contribute to these mental health challenges.
It's a topic that's often stigmatized and misunderstood.
Definitely.
So it's encouraging to see them addressing it openly and honestly.
And they're not just focusing on the individual level. They also have a podcast that delves into the impact of work on mental well-being,
Okay. Interesting.
exploring topics like burnout, workplace stress, the importance of creating a supportive work environment.
Okay. So we got mindfulness,
Yeah.
mental health at work, the global mental health crisis.
Right.
What else is on their podcast menu?
They also have a podcast focused specifically on the fashion and textile industries
Makes sense.
with a particular emphasis on sustainability.
Okay.
They discuss the environmental impact of fast fashion.
Explore innovative solutions for circularity.
Yeah.
Highlight ethical production practices.
So they're really holding themselves accountable
They are.
and demonstrating their commitment to sustainability by putting it front and center
Absolutely.
in their content. It's about fostering a broader conversation
Yeah.
and driving systemic change.
It's like they're using these podcasts to build a bridge
Yeah.
between their brand values and the real world.
They're not just selling clothes.
No.
They're selling a vision
They are.
for a more sustainable and mindful future.
And they're inviting listeners to be active participants in that vision.
So we've talked about the philosophy behind PoM, their ambitious sustainability goals, and this impressive podcast network.
Right.
But what does all of this mean for the average person?
That's a great question
What's the tangible benefit?
of engaging with this whole ecosystem.
That's what we need to explore next.
Okay, so let's do that.
What happens when you buy a PoM t-shirt?
Yeah.
How does that connect you to this community they've built?
Right.
How do these podcasts translate into real-world change?
It seems like they're creating a movement.
It does.
But what does that movement actually look like in practice?
Exactly.
That's what I'm curious about.
Let's find out.
All right, let's do it.
Well, for starters, you're supporting a company that's really walking the walk when it comes to sustainability.
Okay.
Their commitment to 100% circular economy by next year means they're taking concrete steps to minimize their environmental impact.
Like what kinds of things?
Sourcing sustainable materials,
Okay.
designing for durability and recyclability.
So when you buy a PoM garment,
Right.
you're not contributing to that fast fashion cycle
Exactly.
of waste and exploitation.
You're investing in a piece that's meant to last,
Yeah.
made with respect for both people and planet.
I like that. And that's just the beginning, right?
It's just the start.
We're talking about Maverick's Cove,
Right.
that online platform.
It becomes your gateway to a community
Okay.
of like-minded individuals.
So paint me a picture.
Okay.
What does this community actually look like?
It's a vibrant space.
Okay.
You can connect with others, participate in challenges,
Okay.
access exclusive content,
All right.
learn from experts on topics like sustainable living,
Okay.
mindfulness practices, conscious consumerism.
So it's interactive?
Very interactive.
So it's like a social network,
It is.
but with a purpose.
Exactly.
It's about creating a space where people can connect,
Right.
learn,
Yeah.
and take action together.
And the podcasts play a crucial role.
That's a smart strategy.
It is.
Creating a feedback loop
Yeah.
where the podcasts inspire action.
Right.
And the community provides a platform for sharing and reflection.
Exactly. Bringing members of the Mavericks Cove community together.
It makes it more than just listening to a podcast.
Definitely.
It's a whole experience.
It transforms it
Yeah.
from a passive listening activity
Right.
into an active, engaged community.
And this community is where the real magic happens.
It is.
Wow.
When individuals come together, share their passions,
Mhm.
support each other, they can create a ripple effect
I agree.
that extends far beyond their own personal choices.
So it's not just about buying a t-shirt
No,
or listening to a podcast.
it's bigger than that.
It's about being part of a collective movement.
Right.
that's working towards a more sustainable and mindful world.
And that collective action takes many forms.
Okay, give me some examples.
Within Maverick's Cove, they organize challenges and campaigns.
Focused on what?
Focused on specific sustainability goals.
Okay. So it's giving people concrete actions they can take
Exactly.
to make a difference.
It's about giving people the tools and the support they need to make those changes.
And I imagine the podcasts play a role in that too.
Absolutely.
Providing information and inspiration.
Yeah, they can provide valuable information and inspiration to support those efforts.
And it's not just about individual actions, right?
No, it's not.
PoM is also using its platform to advocate for systemic change.
That's right.
Okay, how are they doing that?
Lobbying for policies that promote sustainability and ethical practices.
Within the fashion industry.
Yes.
So they're not just trying to change consumer behavior.
Nope.
They're trying to influence the industry as a whole.
It's a multi-pronged approach.
I like it.
They're working on individual, community, and
well.
systemic levels to create a more sustainable and equitable future.
This all sounds very inspiring.
It is inspiring.
But let's be realistic.
Okay.
Are there any potential downsides or challenges to this model?
There are always challenges
Right.
when you're trying to do something innovative and ambitious.
Yeah,
One potential pitfall is maintaining authenticity as they grow.
I can see that.
It's easy for a brand to lose its soul when it becomes too focused on expansion and profit.
So how do they ensure they stay true to their core values
That's the key, isn't it?
and don't become just another marketing machine?
Transparency is key.
Okay.
They need to be open about their practices, their challenges, their successes.
So being upfront and honest.
Yes, and they also need to be willing to listen to their community,
Right.
to adapt and evolve based on feedback, and to acknowledge when they make mistakes.
Which is important for any company.
It is.
And how do they ensure that Maverick's Cove remains a truly inclusive space?
That's an ongoing challenge for any community,
It is.
especially a global one.
Yeah.
They need to be proactive about fostering diversity and inclusion.
Both within their team
Yes.
and within their community.
This means actively seeking out diverse voices,
Okay.
promoting inclusivity in their content and marketing, and creating a space where everyone feels safe, respected, and valued.
And it's not just about being welcoming.
Right.
It's about making sure everyone has equal opportunities
Exactly.
to participate and contribute.
Things like language accessibility,
Yeah.
providing transcripts for their podcasts.
Those are all important factors.
They are.
Inclusivity is not just a box to check.
No, it's an ongoing process
Yeah.
of learning, adapting, and ensuring that everyone has a voice.
But it sounds like they're committed to addressing these challenges
They seem to be.
and building a truly sustainable and equitable brand and community.
They're certainly setting a high bar for other companies to follow.
Yeah, I think that's a positive development in itself.
It is.
Okay, we've talked about the benefits of PoM's ecosystem,
Right.
the challenges they might face,
Mm-hmm.
the importance of community and inclusivity.
Yeah.
But what about the long-term impact?
That's the big question.
What does success look like for a company like PoM?
Ultimately, their success will be measured by the positive impact they have on the world.
Okay.
Are they reducing their environmental footprint? Are they contributing to a more mindful and equitable society? Are they inspiring other companies to adopt more sustainable practices?
Those are some pretty hefty goals.
They are.
It's almost like they're trying to redefine what it means to be a successful company.
Yeah, and that's exactly what's so exciting about what they're doing.
Okay.
They're not just selling clothes or podcasts. They're selling a vision for a better future.
A vision for a better future. Okay.
A future where businesses prioritize people and planet alongside profit, where consumers make conscious choices,
Yeah.
and where communities come together to create positive change.
It's a powerful vision,
It is.
but it raises a lot of questions.
Of course.
Can a single company, even one as innovative and ambitious as PoM,
Yeah.
really make a dent in these global issues?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
But even if they don't single-handedly solve the climate crisis
Right.
or eradicate mental health stigma,
Yeah.
they're shining a light on these issues, sparking conversations, inspiring others to take action.
And that's a good thing.
It's a powerful thing in itself.
I agree. They're demonstrating that it's possible to do business differently
Definitely.
to operate with a sense of purpose and responsibility.
And they're proving that consumers are hungry for this kind of change.
Yeah, it seems like people are looking for brands that align with their values, brands that are making a positive impact.
Exactly.
So what can we as individuals do to support this movement?
That's a great question.
Is it enough to just buy a PoM t-shirt and listen to their podcasts?
Those are great first steps.
Okay.
By supporting brands like PoM,
Yeah.
you're sending a clear message to the market
What kind of message?
that you value sustainability,
Okay.
ethical production, and conscious consumption.
But it doesn't end there, right?
Of course not.
What else can we do?
It's about incorporating these values into all aspects of your life.
So it's a lifestyle change.
It can be.
Okay.
It's about being mindful of your consumption habits,
Right.
reducing your environmental impact, and supporting businesses that are doing good in the world.
And using our voices to advocate for change.
Exactly.
Whether it's through our purchasing decisions,
Yeah.
our social media platforms, or our conversations with friends and family.
Every action we take, no matter how small, can contribute to a more sustainable and equitable future.
So we've explored the world of PoM,
We have.
from their sustainable fashion brand
Right.
to their innovative podcast network
Mm-hmm.
and their vibrant online community, Maverick's Cove.
It's been a journey.
It has. It's a complex and fascinating story.
It is.
But I think the takeaway is clear.
What's that?
They're challenging the status quo,
Absolutely.
pushing boundaries,
Yep.
and demonstrating that businesses can be a force for good in the world.
They're setting a great example.
They are. And they're inviting us all to join them
That's right.
on this journey towards a more mindful and sustainable future.
And who knows, maybe Samuel Maverick would be proud.
Maybe he would, after all. He was a true maverick,
He was.
an individualist who wasn't afraid to challenge convention
Yeah.
and forge his own path. And that's exactly what PoM is doing today.
Following in his footsteps in a way.
So the next time you're faced with a choice,
Okay.
whether it's what to buy,
Right.
what to listen to,
Mm-hmm.
or how to spend your time, remember the story of PoM and Maverick's Cove,
Remember that your choices matter.
and that together we can create a world that's a little bit kinder, a little bit fairer, and a little bit more sustainable.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you found your inner peace with our podcast. Keep yourself updated and join us on our next episode. Stay safe and healthy, and have a good day. See you soon.